Have you ever felt like money controls your every move, even though you tell yourself you're working hard just to be free? That paradox is at the heart of many American lives. Kevin, a 42-year-old marketing manager in Chicago, had what most people would call a good life. He earned over $120,000 a year, had a modern two-story home in the suburbs, drove a new hybrid SUV, and took vacations to Cancun with his family every spring. On the outside, Kevin seemed like he had it all. But inside, he was tired. Tired of meetings, metrics, and the constant pressure to keep producing more to sustain a lifestyle that didn't even bring him peace. One evening, while scrolling through his newsfeed, Kevin saw an old friend from college, Eli, sitting barefoot in a simple house in Costa Rica, grinning beside a mango tree. The caption read, "Sold my stuff. Downsized. I've never felt so free." Kevin stared at the photo, a strange emotion rising inside him, not envy, not judgment, but curiosity. How did Eli escape the race? Was he just lucky, or did he know something Kevin didn't? The American hustle. In the US, the cultural narrative goes like this. Go to school, get a job, work hard, buy a house, retire at 65. It sounds reasonable, even noble. But for many, it becomes a hamster wheel. You get a raise, then upgrade your home. You earn more, then buy more. Credit card bills creep in, student loans linger, and savings feel like a distant dream. Even when people reach a six-figure income, they still lie awake at night worrying about money. But because it's not really about how much money you make. It's about how much control it has over your mind. What is Zen in the marketplace? When we talk about Zen here, we don't mean sitting cross-legged in a mountain monastery, though that's great too. We mean the ability to stay centered amid chaos. To act without being pushed around by fear, ego, or greed. To choose with intention, not just react out of habit. In the financial world, Zen is about mastering money without letting it master you. It's about being aware of your desires, recognizing your patterns, and reclaiming the ability to choose what truly matters to you, not just what's expected. Kevin's moment of realization. A few months after seeing Eli's post, Kevin found himself sitting in a quiet cafe on a Sunday morning, his laptop open to yet another spreadsheet of family expenses. He noticed something startling. They had spent over $8,000 last year on stuff they barely used, subscription boxes, gadgets, clothes still with tags on, takeout they didn't even enjoy. He didn't feel ashamed. Just awake. That was the moment Kevin realized he wasn't spending money, he was spending his life energy. Every Amazon order was paid for with his time, his mental space, his freedom. The true cost of earning. We often think of money in terms of numbers. But Zen thinking asks a deeper question. What does this cost me in peace, time, or energy? That $1,500 designer sofa may look good on Instagram, but if you have to work an extra 20 hours to pay it off, is it worth the exchange? Or that high-paying job that drains your soul and leaves you exhausted? What's the true cost? This isn't about rejecting money. It's about seeing it clearly. Money is a tool. A powerful one. But when it becomes the master, life becomes distorted. An ancient truth for modern times. Buddhist teachings talk about attachment as the root of suffering. The more we cling to things, status, possessions, outcomes, the more we suffer when they shift or disappear. Modern life encourages attachment. To likes, to lifestyle, to the illusion of security. But Zen reminds us, nothing is permanent. Not your salary. Not your title. Not even your sense of self. When we accept this truth, we begin to loosen our grip. We become more fluid, more free. Choosing awareness over automation. Most people spend money unconsciously. We click, swipe, and tap without a second thought. We chase upgrades, not realizing we're also upgrading our stress. But imagine this. What if you paused before every purchase and asked, do I truly need this? Will this add peace or tension to my life? Am I buying this out of joy or fear of missing out? That's the first step to mastering money, awareness. This video is not about budgets or investment advice. It's about perspective. You'll meet people like Kevin, who are learning to step back, observe their patterns, and reclaim their peace. You'll discover stories and tools rooted in both Eastern mindfulness and modern practicality. Each chapter offers insights and examples to help you live with more clarity, more choice, and ultimately, more freedom. Because money isn't the enemy. But unconscious living is. Let's wake up together. Chapter 2. Money is not the enemy, your mindset might be. Before we dive into strategies or examples, we need to tackle the most powerful force shaping your financial life, your mindset. Let's go back to Kevin. After that eye-opening moment at the cafe, he didn't immediately quit his job or sell his house. Instead, he started questioning things. Why did he feel guilty every time he spent money on himself but didn't hesitate to splurge on things to impress others? Why did a small dip in his 401k make him anxious for days? It wasn't about the money. It was about the story in his mind. The hidden script in your head. Every one of us carries around an invisible script about money. It's a story written by our parents, our culture, our childhood experiences, and it runs in the background like an app draining battery life without us noticing. Maybe you grew up hearing, "We can't afford that. Rich people are greedy. You have to hustle hard to succeed. You need to save every penny or you'll end up broke." None of these are objectively true. But if they're the lens through which you view money, they shape your actions and your stress. From scarcity to sufficiency. One of the most common money mindsets in America is scarcity, the belief that there's never enough. No matter how much you earn, it feels like you're one emergency away from disaster. Now, let's be clear, financial hardship is real. Millions of people live paycheck to paycheck. But often, even people with financial stability carry deep fear and anxiety around money. They fear losing what they have. They overwork, not because they need to, but because they can't stop. Zen invites us to shift from scarcity to sufficiency. That doesn't mean settling for less. It means recognizing what's enough for a life of peace, purpose, and presence. Eli's story, recognizing your emotional triggers. Money isn't just numbers. It's emotion. Some people overspend when they feel insecure. Others hoard money because they fear being dependent. Some tie their self-worth to their salary. Others feel guilty about financial success. If you've ever felt a wave of shame, fear, or pride around money, it's not weird. It's human. But Zen teaches us to observe emotion without being ruled by it. Notice the feeling. Name it. Ask, where is this coming from? Is it helping me live better, or just keeping me stuck? Practical Zen, the pause practice. Here's a simple practice that can change your financial life. Before you buy something, especially online, pause. Take one deep breath. Then ask, do I need this or just want it right now? What am I feeling? Bored, lonely, anxious? Is this aligned with the life I want to build? This moment of mindfulness creates space. In that space, you reclaim your power to choose, not react. What the rich don't talk about. There's a myth that wealthy people are calm and secure. But many high-net-worth individuals carry enormous stress. Some fear losing what they've built. Others feel trapped by their lifestyle. Kevin once had dinner with a VP from another firm who made $500,000 a year. The man confessed, "I feel like I'm in a golden cage. If I quit now, I lose the house, the cars, the private school for my kids. I've built a life I don't even like, but I'm scared to let go." Money can create comfort, but it doesn't guarantee freedom unless you define freedom clearly and build your finances around that vision. A new definition of wealth. In Zen, true wealth isn't how much you have. It's how little you need to feel whole. If you can enjoy a walk without needing to buy something, you're wealthy. If you can give without fear, you're wealthy. If you can sit with discomfort without running from it, you're wealthy. Kevin didn't become a minimalist, but he began to shift. He canceled subscriptions that didn't bring joy. He set up a weekly money reflection with his wife, not to scold, but to align values. He started asking, what would enough look like for us? Closing thoughts. You can't control the economy. You can't guarantee the stock market. But you can choose your mindset. You can choose awareness over autopilot, intention over impulse, clarity over chaos. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore how to build a money life rooted in presence, not pressure. We'll meet more people like Kevin and Eli. And we'll discover that the path to financial peace doesn't start with a raise or a side hustle. It starts with how you see. Let's keep going. Chapter 3. The Hustle Trap, When More is Never Enough. For years, Kevin believed that the harder he worked, the closer he'd get to freedom. He woke up early, checked emails before breakfast, booked back-to-back meetings, and prided himself on skipping vacations. Sound familiar? This chapter is about the trap of endless hustle and why breaking free requires not just different habits, but a different way of being. The productivity illusion. American culture worships productivity. We've built a society where being busy is a badge of honor. If you're not grinding, you're falling behind. But let's ask, behind what? Behind whom? Kevin once read an article titled, The 5 a.m. Club, and immediately set his alarm. For a while it worked. He squeezed in gym sessions, read business books, and even meditated. But within weeks, he was exhausted, irritable, and snapping at his kids. Turns out, the method wasn't the problem. The mindset was. He believed that unless he was constantly producing, he wasn't valuable. Doing versus being. Zen draws a sharp contrast between doing and being. Doing is about output, goals, metrics, to-do lists. Being is about presence, awareness, breath, and intention. You need both. But when doing becomes compulsive, it disconnects you from yourself. You forget to ask, is this work aligned with who I am? Is it serving my life, or consuming it? Eli once put it this way. I used to work to live. Then I started living to work. Then I forgot how to live at all. Meet Sophia, the hustler who hit pause. Sophia, 39, was a single mom and freelance marketing consultant in Chicago. She took pride in being on 24/7. Her calendar looked like a Tetris game. Clients loved her. Her bank account looked healthy. But her son noticed something. You're always working. Even when we're together, you're not really here. That cut deep. Sophia didn't quit her job. She didn't retreat to a cabin in the woods. She simply started inserting sacred pauses into her day. 5 minutes of silence between calls. Turning her phone off during dinner. Journaling once a week about what mattered most. Result? Less anxiety. More clarity. Better clients. And her son started smiling more. Why hustle feels addictive? Here's the trap. Hustle can feel good. You feel important. In control. Needed. You get dopamine from checking tasks off the list. But like any addiction, it has side effects. Shallow relationships. Lost creativity. Constant anxiety. The worst part? You don't notice it happening until you do. The false equation. Time equals money equals worth. Many of us internalize this formula. The more hours I work, the more money I earn, the more I matter. Zen breaks this illusion. It teaches. You already matter. You are not your output. Now, this isn't an excuse to be lazy. Zen isn't about quitting, it's about choosing. Working from clarity, not compulsion. Practical Zen, redefine success weekly. Every Sunday, Kevin now asks himself 3 questions. 1. What brought me joy this week? 2. What drained me? 3. What would success look like next week, beyond money? This 10-minute check-in reshaped his priorities. He realized he was spending 80% of his time on things that brought only 20% of his joy. So he shifted, gradually dropping clients who stressed him out, saying no to projects that didn't align, and building a calendar with more space. He didn't earn less, he earned better. Creating spaciousness in a crowded world. Modern life is loud. Notifications, news, noise, it never stops. That's why you have to create space on purpose. Try this. Start your morning without your phone. Work in 90-minute blocks with silent breaks. Take a Sabbath hour, once a week, no screens, no noise, just being. Schedule joy. Yes, actually schedule it. You can't wait for peace to show up. You have to invite it. Success without sacrifice. Let's get real. Zen isn't about living in a hut and rejecting ambition. It's about designing ambition so that it doesn't consume you. Kevin's friend Tara runs a successful design agency. She works 4 days a week, takes Fridays off, and has a no client after 5 p.m. rule. She earns 6 figures, takes yoga at noon, and walks her dog daily. Her secret? I got clear on what I value and built my work around that, not the other way around. You don't need to sacrifice your soul to earn a living. You just need to stop chasing someone else's definition of success. Closing thoughts. The hustle trap is seductive, but it's a mirage. No amount of more will satisfy a heart that's starving for meaning. Zen asks us to pause, breathe, ask what matters, then build a life, not just a resume, that reflects that answer. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to build real financial freedom, not just the kind that shows up on paper, but the kind you feel in your bones. Let's continue. Chapter 4. The Myth of Financial Freedom. We hear it everywhere. Achieve financial freedom. Retire early and live your best life. Make money while you sleep. But let's ask, what does financial freedom really mean? And why do so many people chase it for decades, only to feel just as anxious once they get there? This chapter breaks down the myth, exposes the trap, and offers a Zen path toward true financial peace. Kevin's moment of clarity. After a particularly intense quarter, Kevin hit his number. His financial advisor told him he could technically retire if he wanted to. He celebrated with a weekend trip, told a few friends, and took a Monday off. Then on Tuesday, something strange happened. He felt empty. He had imagined fireworks, clarity, happiness. Instead, he felt restless. The problem? He had prepared his accounts, but not his mind. Freedom is not a number. In Zen, freedom is not external. It's internal. You can have millions in the bank and still feel poor. You can live simply and feel abundant. Many Americans believe, if I just had $X, I'd finally relax. But what happens? You get to that number and your lifestyle inflates. Or your fears shift. Or you compare yourself to someone else. The finish line keeps moving. True freedom comes not from what you have, but how you relate to what you have. Meet Marcus, retired but trapped. Marcus, 58, sold his software business for $4.2 million. He bought a home in Arizona, a Tesla, and took a cruise to Alaska. For 6 months, life was sweet. Then came boredom. Then anxiety. Then a strange emptiness. He didn't miss work. He missed meaning. So he started mentoring young entrepreneurs, not for money, but for connection. Slowly, the spark returned, not from spending but from serving. The emotional side of money. Zen teaches that our money reflects our state of mind. If you're anxious, you'll hoard. If you're insecure, you'll overspend to impress. If you're fearful, you'll avoid investing. Kevin realized he was saving not for joy, but out of fear. Fear of becoming like his father, who lost everything in a downturn. Once he saw that, he stopped blindly piling up cash and started aligning his money with what truly mattered. Redefining financial freedom. Let's rewrite the goal. Instead of, make enough money so I never have to worry again. Try, build a relationship with money that allows me to live with peace, now and in the future. That's financial Zen. And it's more accessible than you think. A Zen framework for money peace. Use these 4 steps. 1. Awareness. Know your numbers. Track spending not to punish, but to understand. 2. Intention. Align spending with values. Does this purchase reflect what matters most to you? 3. Sufficiency. Practice saying, this is enough. Enough house. Enough clothes. Enough subscriptions. 4. Trust. Invest wisely but don't obsess. Trust that with clarity and presence, you'll adapt as life evolves. This isn't about being frugal. It's about being free from fear. Practicing enoughness. One day, Kevin walked into a boutique and saw a leather bag he'd wanted for months. He picked it up, admired it, and even walked to the register. Then he paused. Will this bag make me feel more whole? Or am I trying to fill a hole? He smiled, put it back, and walked out. He didn't feel deprived. He felt powerful. That's the practice of enoughness, not denial, but discernment. Joy over comparison. Comparison kills joy. And the modern economy thrives on it. Social media shows us people vacationing in Greece, driving luxury cars, sipping $15 lattes in perfect lighting. But Zen reminds us, all that is surface. You don't know their debt, their stress, their emptiness. Kevin now has a mantra. If it costs me my peace, it's too expensive. This applies not just to purchases, but to clients, jobs, and even relationships. From earning to experiencing. Financial freedom is not the ability to buy more stuff, it's the ability to experience life more fully. Sophia, the marketing consultant we met earlier, once said, "True wealth is being able to take a walk at noon without checking your phone. Attending your child's recital without thinking about deadlines. Sleeping deeply because you're not worried about rent. Saying no to toxic work because you're not desperate. That's real wealth. And it doesn't require millions, just mindfulness." Closing thoughts. Financial freedom isn't a finish line, it's a way of living. It begins with awareness, grows through intention, and blossoms in simplicity. Money is not the enemy, but worshipping it is a trap. Zen shows us how to master money, not by making more, but by needing less and living more. In the final chapter, we'll bring it all together, with practical steps to integrate Zen into your daily financial life, no matter where you are right now. Let's walk together, one mindful step at a time. Chapter 5. Walking the Path, Everyday Zen for Your Financial Life. You've come this far. You've explored money not as a thing to conquer, but as a relationship to understand. Now comes the part that matters most. How do we live this out? How do we carry this Zen mindset into a world that constantly screams, buy more, or more, be more? This chapter offers practical, grounded steps for walking the middle path between wealth and wisdom, so you can thrive in the marketplace without losing yourself in it. The Zen way is not passive. Zen is not about sitting in a cave, chanting away your bills. It's about being fully awake, in your bank account, your calendar, your conversations. It's about knowing exactly where your money goes, what it's serving, and how it aligns with the life you truly want. Kevin used to check his investment app 10 times a day. Now he checks once a week, with full presence. He journals what emotions arise when he sees gains or losses. That's Zen in action. 5 simple practices to bring Zen into your financial life. Here's how you can begin, not someday, but today. 1. Pause before you purchase. Before clicking buy, ask, do I really need this? What feeling am I chasing? Is this aligned with my values? Even a 10-second pause can break a lifetime of impulsive patterns. Zen tip, try a 24-hour rule for non-essentials. The craving often fades. 2. Create a weekly money check-in. Once a week, same time, same place, sit quietly and review. What did I spend this week? Did I overspend, or spend out of boredom or stress? What purchases felt joyful or meaningful? This builds awareness without judgment. Make it sacred. Light a candle. Play music. Turn your money into a meditation. 3. Define your enough. Ask yourself, what does enough look like for my lifestyle, my savings, my work hours? Write it down. Share it with someone you trust. Revisit it monthly. Kevin defined enough as $80,000 per year in flexible income. 3 months off per year. Mornings free for walks and reading. Once he got clear, decisions became easier and peace more accessible. 4. Replace comparison with compassion. When jealousy arises, don't suppress it, study it. What is this really about? What am I telling myself I lack? Then offer yourself kindness. You're human. We all compare. But we can also shift. Try turning envy into inspiration or gratitude. 5. Align work with your soul. Zen doesn't mean you quit your job and move to Bali, though that's fine too. It means asking, what kind of work energizes me? How can I serve others through what I do? Am I trading too much life for money? Kevin negotiated a 4-day workweek. Sophia raised her rates and took on fewer clients. Marcus mentored for free and found joy again. Freedom comes not from escaping work, but from engaging it mindfully. What about debt, emergencies, or low income? This isn't a luxury philosophy. In fact, Zen is most powerful when things are hard. When money is tight. Be radically honest about your numbers. Let go of shame. Focus on small wins. Celebrate each dollar you don't waste. Ask, what's the next wise step? Not, how do I fix it all now? Sophia once said, even when I was broke, I felt richest on days I stuck to my plan. That's the Zen of small victories. A new definition of success. We've all inherited someone else's idea of success. Status, big homes, fancy titles. Let's try this instead. Success is waking up with a quiet mind, doing work you care about, spending time with people you love, and having enough money to live with dignity. That's not just a dream. It's a design. You can build it, slowly, mindfully, joyfully. Final story, Kevin's lunch break. One Tuesday, Kevin sat at a bench near the river with a simple sandwich. The sun warmed his face. Birds chirped nearby. He had no meetings, no notifications, no big wins to announce. And yet he felt successful. Not because of his net worth, but because he was present, peaceful, and free. That's Zen. And that's wealth. Epilogue. You already have what you need. Money can be a tool. It can also be a trap. You don't need more to be whole. You don't need less to be wise. You just need to be awake to your desires, your patterns, your power. Breathe. Reflect. Choose wisely. Let your money follow your heart, not the other way around. The marketplace is noisy, but within you is stillness. Return to it often. Build from it daily. And you will never be owned by money again.